I got something I want to tell you. I did something. Yeah, I did something that I'm usually or never really would do. This has a lot to do with what I've been talking about. It has to do with my body. But and I don't want to bore you with that, but this is a big thing. This is a sticking point for me. And for many of the men that I talk to, it's a sticking point for them too. They just got to the point in their life at their age, their children are gone and their relationship suck with their wife. And it's like, what is the purpose? Why does it matter? Well, it matters a lot. It should matter to you because it matters to God. I mean, if you don't care enough about yourself, then who's going to care about you? And if you can't care for yourself enough to do things, how are you going to show up for the ones that you say you love? Just something to think about. But here's what I'm talking about. I've hit a plateau in my weight, but I've seen some fruit with weight loss as far as, because the measurement is what I'm measuring on the scale is not showing up the way I see things. But then when I begin to see the fruit, that I'm down like 6 pant sizes. I'm able to lift weight, more reps than my son, who is 40 years younger than I am. I have more energy. I eat better, but I've not losing weight. But there's fruit there. God's showing me that. But he's telling me if you want to go higher, if you want to go beyond where you are right now, you've got to do something. You got to do something that really pushes and stretches you. This goes back to my book, in the Ascension of the Warrior. My book, there's a chapter in here, there's a lesson where God showed up in our life and we came across $25,000. He then turned around and told us to give it away in the form of wooden and epoxy crosses. I'm a woodworker, hence the subtitle on this book is The Master Craftsman's Design, because I see him as the master craftsman. The Lord is a carpenter. There's a lot of biblical contents that goes into woodworking. I can make a whole nother episode just about that. But with that being said, he's telling me if I want to take my body, the game in my body, to the next level, I've got to do something. So I called our coach, part of our Warrior Fit, our Warrior within our Warrior program. I live the Warrior's way. I live by the code. And if you follow our podcast, I talk a lot about this. But here's the thing. I've always been kind of the coach guy in sports and athletics, things like that. I would always show up and I would never ask you to do something I'm not willing to do. But the Lord is telling me it's time to step up your game. I can't come here on my podcast and tell you to do things that maybe I'm not doing, that you need to hire a coach. I want to be that coach. Now I have Garrett. He's my coach, my mentor. I pay him a lot of money to be my coach and my mentor, to be part of his mastermind, to be part of, his training. There's the cost to the travel to go to Miami, going out to Salt Lake, Utah here in a couple weeks. There's a cost to that. And sometimes when it comes to my body working out, I stand on my own understanding and I don't want to spend the money. So I called Coach Carter. I, I applied. I applied on his website and I applied and we have a call today. Most likely, if the opportunity presents itself, then, if we can make it happen, we will make it happen and we'll work together. Because that's going to help me continue ascending as the warrior that I am and keep fighting, showing up and fight the battle. Because this is a sticking point. Because my body, my health, all this, it kills my confidence. I sometimes don't show up the way I should show up. Just like you, not showing up the way you should show up, not just in your body, but showing up in your spiritual life for God. The other part is to show up for your wife, to be there and do things for her that nobody else will do, no other man will do. And for her to look and be able to brag about you and then begin to hear the friends turn around and say, my husband wouldn't do that. I've heard this many, many times, and just this past weekend in my wife's work, where somebody said just that. My husband wouldn't do that. This goes to your character. This goes to who you are becoming. So I did a thing, and I'm going to ask you to do a thing. And I'm going to ask you to do that thing by simply just order my book, The Ascension of the Warrior. I paid for it. You just have to pay for the shipping. Join our Bible study. I'm not asking for much. I believe Coach Carter's going to cost me about $10,000. I'm not asking for that. I think this is eight or $9 shipping. The link is in the description. If you don't see the link, hit me up and I'll make sure that you get it and we'll get it to you. So keep on ascending. Become that warrior. The warrior is already there. The man you are supposed to be and become is already there. He's inside you. You need to bring him out. You need to bring him out and show up. Show up with confidence. Build that confidence, and you need a community to do it. So yeah, you need a thing, and you need a coach. You need somebody that will guide you, that will walk with you, who's been there, and who has done that, and who is doing that right now. And that's me. Just putting it out there. Love you guys. God loves you. We'll see you tomorrow.